Hello again. Welcome to another edition of CropLife Retail Week. Paul Schrimpf here with Eric Sfiligoj. We are in our relative bunkers, I believe.
And actually, it's a good thing today because for us here in Ohio, we're getting inundated with a lot of rain. I know it has been rather droughty here the last couple of weeks, and I haven't mowed the lawn in 3 weeks because it hasn't needed it. But started raining the other day, and just kept going and going and going. And I know we're really getting drenched this today. I don't know what the final rain count will be for here on when we're recording this midweek, but based on the puddles in my backyard, it's a lot.
Yeah, and probably, I mean, if you look at the radar, it looks like it's the entire eastern core belt all the way down from here through to Cincinnati. So Columbus, really all of western Ohio is getting torrential. It's just this front that's going directly due north from the south, and in the spin it looks like a huge front. So it's interesting. But we'll see what that does to field activity. I was hoping in a couple 3 weeks to get out and see some things from a standpoint of harvest. So maybe that'll be delayed, maybe not. We'll see. But it certainly is raining a ton. It's been amazing.
Yeah, I know. I just spent this part of this week. I was down at the Farm Science Review just outside of just west of Columbus on the fairgrounds there in Linden, Ohio. And, I saw the soybean was starting to turn color, and the corn was starting to look, like it's supposed to in the fall, but no indications of any harvest activity yet in Ohio on my way down to central Ohio. So yeah, I'm not sure if other states are making headway or not, but towards the end of September, you would imagine they're going to be starting very soon. So,
you betcha. So I know, speaking of conferences and shows, we're gearing up and planning to, all things willing, both get out to ARA and in San Antonio to hopefully meet a bunch of folks and see what's going on in the industry. And I guess one of the things going on recently is a couple of ransomware attacks in the Midwest. I know we both had gotten emails on that, but from two different retailers. So it was Crystal Valley in Minnesota got hit by ransomware, and I think you had another one as well, right?
Yeah, actually, I got a note that our friends at New Cooperative in Fort Dodge, Iowa, one of the top 100 retailers, there was a Russian hacking group called Black Matter that's demanding $5.9 million from New Cooperative to decrypt their software system, which apparently has been hacked. And I know New Cooperative was saying this disruption comes at a very bad time because, this is the time of year when they're getting ready to distribute the grain. And I guess New Cooperative does quite a bit with the livestock meat side of the equation as well. And they're saying that this ransomware attack could have a negative effect on distributing grains and meats going forward here into the fall. And of course, that probably won't help the higher prices I've seen at the grocery store lately go down anytime soon. So,
yeah, well, I think it's another topic we're going to be talking about at ARA. I would imagine talk about knowing what the worst possible time is and attacking at that exact time. Both of these cooperatives, both in obviously in high throughput areas, and so it's going to be. We'll have to see how this plays out, and probably have discussions about how to prevent this kind of activity in the future.
Yeah, one would hope that now that there's two of these higher profile ag retailers that have been targeted and now are dealing with this issue, that other cooperatives out there are taking whatever steps are necessary to safeguard their information systems and networks so that they don't fall prey to the same thing.
Absolutely. So what do you have on the docket, sir? What's going on?
Well, one other thing to mention is this video will be airing. We are just past our date when you can start voting for CropLife Iron's Product of the Year. I know we have taken 2020 off, as everyone did, because there really weren't any trade shows where new products were launched. So, but here in 2021, based on the summer shows we attended back in July and August, there were plenty of products that were considered well received enough by our audience that they were finalists for product of the year. And I'll see if I can roll this off the top of my head. The 5 finalists were OmniPower by Raven, the FA 1030 application system from Case IH, the A100R application product unit from John Deere, the Fendt Rogator, of course, and then the TPA 1000 from Heartland Ag Systems. That's a tender, fertilizer tender. So those are the 5 finalists. So I will be putting up on the screen here the voting link. Voting started on Friday the 24th and will continue until October 29th. So if any of those 5 products are a favorite of yours, please vote. Please, 1 vote per person, though. Do not do what one person did way back about 3 or 4 years ago and have an entire 5th grade class for their child vote on their behalf from the teacher's computer 14, I think, or 15 times. So that we won't count those votes. But other than that, you want to vote from your computer, your phone, that's fine. We will accept those votes.
Our audience stuffed the ballot box.
It's always something, Paul. Anytime you set up a system like this, and then occasionally some people can figure out creative ways, shall we say, to basically get their product in the lead one way or another.
Employing a 5th grade class is almost, you almost want to give an honorable mention to that one because it's so.
It was clever. It was clever. Like I said, the only tip off was all the votes were coming from one computer address, IP address. So we realized it was Mrs. whomever in the classroom who just had the kids line up and vote over and over for the one product that their dad encouraged them to vote for.
You can imagine they probably got a special treat too. They probably got like do this, kids, and you get a candy bar or something like that.
I don't know what the incentive was, but who knows? But anyhow, yes. Other than that, we're looking for votes. Please.
Okay, we strung that out long enough. So what else is going on? Tell me we can end the video now.
No, Paul, we have your favorite segment coming up. It is time for Fun with Numbers. All right, so this week I've got a number to hit you with, and hopefully you will get it because I think the clue will tip my hand quite well. So the number is 60. Well, actually, okay, let's change the number. Let's go with 91%. And the clue is it ties back to the CropLife 100 for 2021. So what do you think 91% would represent in this CropLife 100 question I'm hitting you with?
Oh man, number of retailers who are optimistic about 2022.
No, I'm sorry,
no.
Paul. This one ties back to that question that we've been talking about all year, and the whole question of carbon and carbon credits. Now, of course, the good news, based on the 100 forms we have in so far, 91% of the respondents say that they see a role for the ag retailer in this whole carbon equation. Only 9% see no role whatsoever. But that's the good news. The bad news, however, is that only 30% see a big role for ag retailers in the carbon credit equation. The majority, 61%, think that ag retailers will just play a small role in this. Now, Paul, just one interesting caveat of this, of that 30% that are positive that ag retailers will play a big role in the carbon credit equation, it looks like the larger the ag retailer, the more likely they are to feel that the role will be big as opposed to small. Pretty much everybody who responded positive to that question in terms of having a big role for ag retailers, they were in our top 20 in terms of sales. Lower than that, not as positive. So, and again, these are the preliminary numbers. We'll, be still calculating more. I'm still missing not quite half of the surveys, but as they come in, you've got a hint of where we are right now through through the first half of the CropLife 100 with most of the major retailers giving us their input already.
Yeah, and that makes sense. I mean, you got folks like Nutrien and Winfield distributing as a distributor through their through the network that they work with, or Spiromark. Others they're kind of stake a claim, working on partnerships, working on internal solutions for carbon. So they have the scale and the partnerships and the access to market and to product to make those kind of things happen. So it makes sense that they'd be more optimistic that they'd have a place in it. Those without those resources, who are reliant on others to get access, are going to be less positive, and maybe not see a sizable role. So much has to play out, Is the government ever going to step in? Is it going to be left to independent companies? Where are the suppliers going to fit in? Are they going to be directing things? Cargill's threw their hat in the ring, which I think shakes things up a bit. So we'll see. It's hard to be. There's so many things, especially in the mid-range retail. There's so many things from the outside that come in, seem like opportunities to go someplace, and have served to let them down, or not quite been what everyone thought it would be. So it's not surprising that people would be show me, don't tell me when it comes to carbon. So
yeah, indeed. And actually, just to give a plug, because we mentioned earlier about being an Agricultural Retailers Association annual meeting in late November, early December. I believe their keynote speaker at that event will be discussing the carbon question for ag retailers. So if folks are interested in planning to attend that event, and if they're interested in this topic, then I would advise them to check out the ARA agenda. And I think the speaker, Paul. I'm forgetting his name, but right?
Yeah, Jason Weller over at Winfield. I mean, he's been a USDA, and he's been at the retail level. He knows ag, he knows regulation, he kind of knows how this stuff works. He's a really good, realistic point of view about it, for all of the optimism that he also demonstrates. And he's I think approaching it the right way. I think Winfield is approaching it the right way in terms of bringing things to market. It's but it's a lot of work, and it's about accurate data. It's about making those partnerships. Putting those partnerships together and making them stick. And I'm sure it'll be very compelling and have even more to say. I mean, he spoke at Tech Hub as part of a panel discussion. So I think you'll have probably have more details and more information at ARA. So I'll look forward to seeing him again and seeing what he has to say at the conference.
Yep. So that's all I have this week, but that was quite a bit, actually, Paul. I'm pleased as I'm listening to the rain hit my roof and windows here quite steadily. We had the chance to talk, since we're still in the bunker, and probably will be for a little while.
And as long as the lights stay on, they've been a little bit dicey, going in and out. We've got some big trees around here and some power lines. I'm just waiting for a shoe to drop, but maybe we'll get through the day. We'll see.
Yeah. Well, good luck to you, Paul. I know I have underground lines here, so I have to worry about the water, I suppose, on the ground, as opposed to the trees smacking into the lines above ground. So
I suppose so. All right. Well, thank you, sir. And thank you all for joining us for this edition of CropLife Retail Week. We appreciate you joining us, and we will see you next week.
If you have questions or comments about today's episode of Retail Week, contact us by email or Twitter, or type your message in the comment section below.
Your feedback is important to us. We'll try our best to address your thoughts in next week's episode.
And be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel.